Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Robin Charvet with Stamp and Scrap with Robin Charvet. And today we're going to be doing part 2 video on Keeping Traditions Stampin' Up Workshop, Scrapbook Workshop Kit. The last video we did some cutting and we prepped for the workshop, and today we're going to go ahead and start with assembly. I'm not positive if I'll get into adding embellishments. We might, just depends on how much time I have, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video ready to post. Now, on the last video, if you haven't seen it, I will link it in the comment. We went ahead and we did all of our trimming of our papers based on exactly what the workshop kit had laid out in their instructions. Let me go ahead and bring this camera up a little bit so we can make sure that I'm in frame. Okay. Sorry about that. And today we're going to just go ahead and we're going to do assembly, and we are going to also just follow the instructions, so that way if you have not done one of our workshop kits, you will see exactly how it's laid out step by step. So I have the guide here and I have the sticker sheet, which we have not used yet. I have all of the stickers there, and we'll be adding those to the pages as we go. I also have my adhesive today. I have a little bit of three-dimensional foam tape, and I have some, I think, little sticky dots, as well as somewhere in this pile on my desk I have a Wink of Stella brush. It's kind of a shimmer pen, and it looks somewhat like this. And it just has a very sparkly ink inside of it that we can add some detail to our pages. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started here. I tend to talk and move quickly. Please know that you can back it up and watch if you miss something, or if you feel you need to review something that we've already covered. But let's just go ahead and get into it today. I'm just going to set this up here so I can find it. And I'm going to start off with the pieces that we cut. And the little die cuts that we had punched out in the last video, and my instruction sheet. I'm going to go ahead and start with layout number 1, and I'm going to start with the left page first. And I have seemed to have grabbed a different layout. So everything that I just pulled out of there, I'm going to go ahead and shove back in this pack. We will get to this layout, but that was layout number 3, not layout number 1. I think this is layout number 1. And I'm going to start building with our pieces, and I am going to start on the left page. Page 1, left page. For that page, we're going to use this old olive grid paper for my base page. It does have a secret C on the back. This is going to be our base for page 1. You will notice that I am working on my mat today, and that just kind of helps if I end up getting too crazy with the Wink of Stella. It will wipe off my glass mat much easier than my table surface. I'm going to need some of my pieces today. I think we need this piece and this piece. Let's get my little die cut pile going over here. Get some of my white pieces. Excuse me. And here we go. Just want to make a little pile for myself, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, assembly for this one is pretty easy. It's pretty, you'll see here in the instruction, it just has basically 5 steps. We're going to be using the old olive grid paper like I mentioned before, and we're going to adhere piece 1A, which was this Secret C piece. And I think in the last video I mentioned that when I put these together, I don't typically write the letters on the back or number them in case there's something that I want to flip over later. I'm going to make an assumption that this is piece 1A. If I needed to find out that for sure, I could refer back to the to our cutting guide, and it is indeed the Secret C piece, which is 1A. Usually by the time I've separated them into piles, I can eyeball this and tell what pieces that I need to work with. If you're newer to scrapbooking, that may not be the case, so I want to apologize for that in advance. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive onto my old olive 8 by 11, and this is 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to start, I have not glued this other piece down yet, but I'm going to start by layering these 2 cardstocks so that I have approximately a 1/4 inch on each side. Now I can also use my grid on this glass mat to help me line this up, or I usually eyeball I'm one of those rarely pull out a ruler because if I'm going to be honest, typically I can't find my rulers. Now today I actually know that it's right up here in front of me, but usually I would have to search my craft room for about 1,000 years to find the ruler that I wanted to use. So I've got my 2 pieces of cardstock glued down, and now I'm going to adhere that to my base page. And the reason I know that I can do that is that when I'm looking at the next sets of steps, it just says for me to adhere the prepared 1C, 1D pre-cut journaling piece and these additional pieces, which are all these little squares. There is no ribbon running behind it or something that it looks like I need to tuck behind here, so I believe that I am just okay to go ahead and lay this down. Now, during assembly is when sometimes I go off in a curve because I might be doing something and think, oh, wouldn't this look cute over here instead of over here? And I'm going to do my best to just kind of stick with the process today. But always know that these are your layouts and you can create them as you like. For example, I know some people that would cut this middle out so that they could retain that paper. Today I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do my layouts as is. It looks like we have 3 of the white pieces that we had cut out last time we were on. And it looks like 2 of them, 3 of them, all 3 of them actually are going to be photo mats. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of lay those out. I haven't glued anything yet because I want to make sure that I can move things around if needed. So it also looks like we have these 2 pieces, the DSP. Now, again, if I wanted to, depending on what I was doing, I could flip those over. I'm going to go ahead and build this as is. And it looks like this one also has a journal block. So I will go ahead and grab the journal piece, the pre-lined journaling piece. And then it's basically just lining those up. And that you can do with a ruler, or again, you can just eyeball it. So I'm going to try to do my best to go about, maybe a ½ inch in from each side of the olive. And then keeping about a ¼ inch around each, between the pieces, creating a grid. So when I'm happy with that, I'll go ahead and I will just start putting some adhesive on here to keep this down. I could lift these with some 3-dimensional tape if I wanted to. I'm probably going to build this basically flat except for the embellishments today. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might decide that I need some dimension. So put those down. I also feel like I don't have much dexterity today. I'm having trouble picking things up and laying them down. I did already eat my lunch, so I don't think it's that I'm hungry. I wonder how everyone, feel free to comment as well. I love it when I can get some comments in, on the videos, and I can go back and answer any questions that you may have. But it also just shows me that I'm not just talking to myself, which is fine. I do it all the time anyway, but it's sometimes fun to have a little bit of interaction. Okay, so the next thing that it tells us to do is that we can now embellish with the pre-cut pieces and stickers as shown, using the Stampin' Dimensionals to add some pieces, adding, you know, a little bit of dimension on that. So that brings me to the sticker sheet. So it looks to me like we have the Oh What Fun sticker here. Looks like we have the Christmas Joy die cut piece down here. And it looks like we have some flags. I think it's like this little green tag, little holiday, or I think not holiday red, sorry, real red, and cherry cobbler. And we do have a sticker that says Making Merry. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down, or sorry, adhere these pieces. And I'm going to eyeball it based on what it looks like in the diagram. So it looks like it just has a little bit here at the top. So not centered, more toward the top. And then we used these kind of as a banner. And it has the green one in the center. Now, because it looks like, oh, that's fine. It will work. Let's go ahead and put some adhesive on these, on the back. Anybody make any resolutions this year? I think I talked about it in my last video. I really did not do that this year. I'm just gonna let just some goals, and these videos are part of those goals that I've been trying to set for myself. Just making sure that I'm putting up some content and kind of interacting again. I didn't do a very good job last year, so I feel like I need to work on content creation. Let's see. The next piece I'm going to grab is this little Making Merry. And this is a sticker. So because I want to raise this up a little bit on some 3D foam tape, And you can use the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I'm just using kind of what I have left over in my, here at my desk. I'm going to go ahead and use this static pouch, which has some powder in it, and take the stickiness off the back so that when I put it on some 3D foam, dimensional tape, some foam squares here, it will, if it gets compressed, the whole thing won't stick to my paper. So I'll have like raised areas and then flat areas. Just want to give it the availability to be a little less wavy underneath. I'm going to do that as well with 2 of these stickers because I do want to pop them up as well. I should just leave this out. Mine is losing a lot of its powder inside this dish, so you'll find me putting the lid on it quite often just so that I don't dump all that powder out onto my desk. Okay, so there's that one. And this one. And again, we'll just rub some of that on there to make these not sticky. And then we'll add sticky because, hey, make it not sticky, but you want to stick it down, you're going to have to re-add adhesive. But I'm going to just put a few pieces of foam tape on the back of these. You don't need a lot. Some people will use a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. You do you. I try to get a little bit of mileage out of my supplies, at least the ones like these that I end up replacing often. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this here. And the other one will go, oops, let's move that over here. I also have not pulled out my photos yet, so I might just do a post with the after I've put the photos on the page. So we'll go ahead and do that. As far as, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. As far as the rest of these go, so with the numbers, I have not decided if I'm going to number my photos at all, or if, you know, you can use these for date, like maybe it was the day of the week. I'm probably not going to use the little, those little stickers, but I could change my mind. You just never know. You just never know about me. I could change my mind. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this little white flower. And I think we had a little white flower as well up here. I'm going to add that. Layered. I did that one flat so it has a little bit of differences in the dimensions. And that looks like I have one that goes up here as well. And that's about it for that page until we decide which photos that we're going to use. I will go ahead, even though it's pretty self-explanatory. I already know these are going to be 3x3s, but I'll go ahead and just put my photo placeholders on here so that when I go back, it can make it extremely easy. And if there was any kind of question, I wouldn't have to remeasure to know where my photos are going to go. So we'll go ahead and put those on there. And that is the first page of layout number 1. So that one came together pretty quickly. And we'll go ahead and do page 2, which is going to be on our Secret C as our base. Then we have this floral. Now, again, if I wanted to, if I'd use the other side on the other page, I could turn it and flip it and use the, the polka dot. And then we do have this stripe, and again, could do that, but that's a lot of floral on that side, or that's a lot of the red on that side. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to leave it just like they provided. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and adhere this down. So has anyone done a lot of their holiday 2025 holiday scrapbooking yet? I feel since it's like only the first week of January, I'm almost ahead of the game. And usually I'm not. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to use last year's photos, because that would make sense, is to get last year's photos down. But I never scrap in order. And just a reminder, you don't have to either. You can scrap however you want in whatever order that you want to scrapbook in. Whatever makes you happy. If you're like, oh, it's the winter blues and I really want to do beach pictures right now, go for it. That's why some people do their Christmas stuff in July, because they're searching out for colder areas. They want to bring some winter Christmas holiday spirit into their lives. So what I just did here, I didn't like, so I'm quickly pulling this up before it's adhered too much, and I'm just going to make that margin here just a bit smaller so that it fits a little bit better on this square. And then I'm going to go ahead. This will drive me a bit mad because the orientation of this. So I flip mine over. That if I have any OCD, that might be it. Is when the photo mat is the orientation is wrong for my eyes. It will drive me nuts. So I just go ahead and flip it over so I don't have to deal with it. So then we have a couple of these cute little embellishments. Just gonna add that in here. And now I left this so that I can tuck my photo in there without having glue on it. That's just a little trick so that I don't have to put a bunch of these just in an envelope and wait. Go ahead and put this poking right behind here. It's tucked a little bit. They actually tucked it, or put it on top of the photo, tucked under one of these, but because I want to easily get to my project and I want to put it together, right now I'm just putting just a bit of tape just to hold it until I can put my photo down. And we've got this one up here in this corner, and this one is not sticky on the back, so I can go ahead and just add a piece of foam tape without having to put that sticky remover on it. Now, this one actually calls for this piece right here to go across. Now, I don't have a photo here yet, and this is sticky. So what I can do is systematically, by where I'm placing this, or where I'm taking the sticky off, leaving it on the end, and that way I can still tuck my photo under here, but I can also glue down my edges. So this is all glued, but this will allow me to tuck my photo in there by removing the stickiness just from the middle of that. Last but not least, it does have this sticker here. Well, almost last, not quite least. I am going to go ahead and remove this so I have more control over where my adhesive is. since I'm planning to pop this up. And then also this sticker, all is calm, all is bright. I'm going to remove a bit of that adhesive, but only from the top. And that way I want this part to stick, but still be able to tuck my photo underneath it, if that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and I'll put my foam tape back on this. Peel that off. And go ahead and stick this down. So there we go. Now you can do this before or after, and this one doesn't even say to do this, but I am going to go ahead and paint just a bit of sparkle on these with my Wink of Stella. So what I'm doing is I'm shaking this up, and I don't want to open it over my project because I don't want to accidentally spill this shimmery liquid all over, and I just opened it over my project. But I always suggest that you do not open this over your project after you've shaken it, that you open it over a piece of paper or something. But it just has like a paintbrush tip end, and you just will color or paint with it, basically. Wherever you want to add just a little splash of shimmer or sparkle. And it's very subtle. You probably won't be able to see it even if I show it to you on the camera. But when you're looking at it, if you haven't used this before, it just adds a little bit of sparkle. Don't know if you can see it or not, but it is there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what the Wink of Stella does. And a really cool feature of the Wink of Stella is that if you have like a watercolor palette, you can pick up the water. You can use it like a paint brush, like watercolor paint, and you'll get that because this is clear. It'll pick up whatever the color is on your palette and be a sparkly version of that color. So it is fun to use it like as your paintbrush on a watercolor palette. And then you would just paint it off to clean it until it runs clear again before you go into your next color. But I'm just going to add just a little bit more sparkle here. And add a little bit on these leaves. And I think that's pretty much it. Just gives it a little bit of sparkle. And that basically is that layout, unless you want to add even more sparkle, which I like to do. And that would be just to grab some shimmer gems. These are iridescent foil gems from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to go ahead, and even though this isn't on, I can't not do some sparkle on my layouts. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my pickup tool. This is the Take Your Pick tool from Stampin' Up. And it has this like rubbery gunk on the end that allows you to pick up like a gem and then place it wherever you would like to place it. I was originally intimidated by this tool because I got it. And usually I don't have that much stuff sticking out. It's just I need to replace the goo that goes on this one, and I haven't done it yet. But because it's basically at the end, it has replacement tips so that you can get more of that sticky stuff. But when I first tried to use it, it takes a little bit of getting used to. If you've done diamond dot, you're probably better at it than a lot of us. But it just picks up and you can place your gem wherever you want it. And these have adhesive on the back already, so it makes it really easy. But it does take some practice. And I have an avalanche over here. I had a card swap that I'll show you here in a moment when we're done, that needs to go out in the mail today. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a couple here. And maybe just a couple down here. And I'm going to call that good. And that is layout 1. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to the next layout, which is layout number 2. And I'm probably going to be ending this video, and I'll have to splice it together before I post it. I have an appointment later today, and I'm probably running behind. I thought I had a little bit more time than I really did, but we'll get it posted all together later. I'm going to go to layout number 2, and the base pages on this one are this really pretty silvery gray piece with the border of the Secret Sea. We're going to start with the left page. I'll get my pieces together here. Hopefully you guys are following what I'm trying to put down. And let's see. Here's my pile of goodies. A couple of different pieces of that. Okay. So this one, we're going to go ahead and start by says putting your photos down onto your photo placeholders first. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Secret Sea paper, and I'm going to adhere 2A, which probably this piece right here. And you'll see me usually lay it out first before I do it. We're going to have a sticker that goes here. And I'm going to go ahead and just lay this out so I can see what it looks like. And then it'll have the photos here. Oh my heavens. So I think it will go here and here. I think we had a couple of these. Yeah. Okay, so these are going here. And then it has some titles and some florals. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start by gluing these down. Okay, here we go. I feel like I'm underwatered today. And not underwater, but like I didn't drink any water today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. And then we have the striped sticker right here, and it appears that I will need to trim off about 1 inch on the sticker sheet. So I'm going to go ahead first, and I'm going to lay it down. and just kind of see where I need to cut it. And it looks like it's gonna end up right on that line. So I should be able to go ahead and just make the snip off just that inch right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sometimes perfect doesn't happen, so I'll take it when I can get it. It looks like I'm now going to need to put the pool party cardstock, leaving about 2 inches at the top and centering it between these two pieces here. My goodness. And I'm going to use this is the dark side. I'm going to use mine so that the light side is facing up. I feel like I like that a little bit better. I do kind of like these traditional colors, or non-traditional colors in this traditional kit. Okay. The next piece that will go underneath is one of the scalloped border pieces. It goes on here, but I think that it's going to end up making a frame. Oh my goodness. A frame. Like a bottom piece right here. There we go. Looks good, looks good. Okay. Right here. We're just going to line those up. Sometimes I forget to talk when I start doing this. Then I'm like, oh wait, hopefully people are watching you. You should probably say something to them while they're out there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on this piece. I'll go ahead and put it down across here. And then I can line these up here. But I want to make sure that you can still see my scallop, because if we move it down too far, you can't see the scallop. And that would be awful. Otherwise, why put it on your layout? So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put my place photo holders here while I'm bringing these over. I'm going to go ahead and try the method where I look at about 1/4 inch on this side, and I'm going to line it up 1/4 inch on this side. And then I'm going to put my center one in, except that it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. When I added the actual, the actual white cardstock base. There we go. It was to made it wider. So there was no space between the photos, and I wanted a space between those photos, if that makes sense. And the word I was looking for was matte. When I had the plain white matte, this just got a little bit too tall. So mark it here so that it's at the same visual line up here. I think that looks better. Okay. Whew, that was hard. Sometimes scrapbooking is hard. Sometimes it's not. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this little tag. And then there's a bunch of little tags that go up here. Let's see. There's a bow. These pieces are the bows. So that's going to go in here. Deck the Halls probably goes on the other page. Making Spirits Bright goes on the other page. Cozy probably goes on the other page. However, this piece goes right here. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that down with some adhesive. Flat. I'm going to do mine flat. I will probably pop up the flower. And the tag. Okay. There are some stickers that go on this page. December's going to go over here. And I'm just going to do that flat centered in there. Not going to put the number on here, but I will take this large title and knock off the sticky. I'm knocking off the sticky. Okay. So then I will need to add some dimensional tape. I'll go ahead and put some of this on there. And again, I'm just borrowing from my stash of product that I've had. But typically I will grab my Stampin' Up dimensionals. But we're going to use up what we have today. And I should be able to peel off these bottom pieces that I put on here. So again, that if I overlap a little bit on top of my photo holders, that I will then be able to tuck the photo under there without having a lot of issue. We're going to go ahead and put it over to the side. And I can go ahead and tuck my photos there if needed. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab some, these are not sticky on the back, so I don't need to worry about removing any adhesive, so I could just go ahead and add my squares. And again, like I said, I am using, you'll see me using my stash, what I have over here. I did have to reorder some of the Stampin' Up dimensionals because I've gone through a lot of them, even the ones that come in my kits. Usually there's a whole bunch left over in your kits, and Robin has used hers, so had to reorder. They should be coming shortly. Okay, come on. Okay, pull that off. I'm going to go ahead and tuck that underneath. We're going to glue that down. I'm going to hear the bottoms. And then here we have just a few of these stickers that are on my sticker sheet. We have Trim the Tree and Making Magic and Deck the Halls. And I'll go ahead and I will add these at different spots. And I'm not worrying about them being straight. I want them to look a little bit wonky, if that's a word. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this little bow here to adding a little bit of foam tape on the bottom so that technically I should put two layers of foam tape at the bottom. That's okay. It'll be okay. It'll work. Okay, and there we have page or layout to the left page. I'm actually going to stop the video right now, and then I will splice them together before I post the video. So I do have an appointment that I need to get to, but I will be back shortly to finish the other page of this layout. Before I do that, I am going to go ahead and I am going to squeeze out a little bit more of this pretty shimmery Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to give these little petals a little bit of something something. And because I can tell it's getting a little bit dry. Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay, so now I can paint these on a little bit more shimmer. How to get it going. Yep, it was a little dry. And I'm just going to shimmer. And maybe I will go ahead, because we're here and I don't want to forget, I will go ahead and clean up my mess. Wipe this off of my mat where I Wink of Stella on the mat, and grab, before I turn this off, let me grab my gems. We're going to add a couple of them here, maybe one or two up here. I usually won't put them where my photo's going to go if I haven't put my photo down, so I'm just adding them to the, right up here to the journaling area, and then maybe just a couple up at the top. There we go. Okay. I'll see you back here shortly for the next page. Okay, we are back. When we left off, before I had to go to my appointment, we had completed the left layout for layout number 2, and we're going to be moving now to layout number 3. Sorry, layout number 2 on the right page. So I do still have the right page here, and we're going to be using that Secret Sea striped paper as the base, and we're going to adhere some of these pieces that we have here. We're going to be using a lot of the little scalloped pieces, and we're going to be using this other cherry cobbler piece that we cut on the cutting video. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lay this out. I think we also have a sheet of, or sorry, excuse me, a piece of Pool Party that looks like it needs to go here at the bottom of the page. So I'm just going to kind of lay this out before I start gluing, just to kind of measure where I need to put things. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Looks like we're going to do something like that. And then we're going to layer these. So we've got the floral at the bottom, then the pink, then the polka dot, and then the Secret Sea, and then the plaid. And I can kind of lay these out. Oh my goodness. I thought today I'd have better dexterity, but alas, that is not the case. a little shaky today. Okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. So we'll have something similar to this when we go to lay down the pieces. And there's going to be a sticker strip here and some stickers. And it looks like, in my haste yesterday, we did not do the shading on the leaves in this piece of paper. And so I think that we will do some of that after we complete this page. It's kind of interesting. I don't even see the pieces. Oh, okay. I do see it. You know, sometimes you really got to look closely at this paper. I didn't even see these other leaf shapes in here. All I saw was the poinsettia. But there is a little bit of traditional leaf shape in here, and we are going to do some highlighting with that. And a little bit of Wink of Stella and the old olive stamp pad, which I will grab here in just a couple minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start laying this out. Okay, don't adhere the sides and bottoms of the scallops or you won't be able to layer them. The sides, oh, I see what they're saying. So what they're telling me to do in the instruction sheet is to actually just go ahead and put some adhesive along the top of each of these, and I think it's going to have us start at the top and layer, tuck underneath the layered scallop. I'll show you what I can't even talk today. This could be an entertaining video today, ladies and gents. Okay. Okay. So we are going to go ahead, adhere the top old olive scallop first. So I have to find old olive now that I flipped them around. We're going to adhere this first. Now notice I did not glue that down yet. I'm just going to glue it as one piece at the end here. So I'm going to go ahead and start by attempting to center this. Almost. Notice I am kind of lightly placing this and I didn't press down yet because I want to get it centered before I press down the adhesive. And I think that'll do it. So I'm going to move this so it doesn't slide. And we'll just work on this pool party piece. So the next piece that's going to go into our scallop is this Secret Sea piece. And I'm just going to wiggle that into place, trying not to press down until I'm ready to adhere it. And making it even, so then I can press it down. The next piece is going to be the red polka dot. Traditionally when I do these, I always try to start at the bottom, but maybe this is sometimes when they have some instructions. Sometimes I should listen to that. So I'm just kind of peeling this up a little bit so I can more easily slide it underneath. So that way less of my adhesive on the back of these is touching until I'm ready. for them to touch down. And then I should have the pink scallop, which is over here. I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to bend this up a little bit so I can easily slide it underneath and then press it down. That one is definitely a little bit crooked. And then the last scallop. Go ahead and do that. And I'll go ahead and press that down. So then we have the scalloped piece right here. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. I used the light side again just because I'd also use the light side of the cardstock on the opposite page, when we were working on page 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay that in, press it down. It also looks like it has a piece of the, a little thin strip of this stripe, and I went ahead and used the skinny piece that went between the two sections of, I could have used this tiny one, but then I would have had to cut it, but there was a little piece that went between the two thicker stripes, and I'm using that here. And I will need to trim it just like I did yesterday with that other, previously. Whatever day this video got recorded. All right. And I can trim that off, and look at that. Looks great, yay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attach this cherry cobbler cardstock piece. I'm gonna go ahead and run a little bit of tape and press that down. Okay, so far so good. The next piece that I have is this DSP and a photo place card, since I do not have my photos printed. I'll go ahead and adhere this approximately here. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to add a little. Now remember, you can choose to add some 3D tape or some foam. I'm going to probably do my my little pieces for that instead of doing the photo mats. It's just easier for personally to not use the 3D foam tape on my photos. But I do have a second photo here. Or sorry, placemat that I'm going to adhere on my regular mat. When this is a photograph, of course, it will, the white border will stand out a little bit better than what it's doing now, but this is going to overlap just a tiny bit onto the photo mat, actually onto the photo. So I did not put adhesive here so that I can tuck my photo underneath. I'll bring it down to here. Just let it touch a little bit. I'll go ahead and press that down. Then I can add some of these details. So if anybody decided if they're going to use this year's holiday photos or last year's holiday photos for this, or did you take pictures for this holiday season? Is this going to end up being next year's pages? That does happen to me a lot. I'll make the pages and I'll stash them, and then at a future date I will pull out photos from different seasons or years and add them to my project. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape. And I'm just not going to peel the back of the one piece because I only want it to, I want to be able to place my photo in there again. So those are just some little tips if you don't have your photos. Go ahead and put a couple more of the embellishments up here. Go here. And I still have decided not to use the stickers with the numbers on them yet. I could decide later when I have my photos that I want to use them, but right now I'm not sure how I'm going to use those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some more of tape. I'm going to go ahead and peel that off, and I'm going to set our Deck the Halls right up here. I did stick it down a little too soon. Deck the Halls. And then I do have a Home for the Holidays sticker that I'm going to place. This one I'm going to place flat and I'm going to slide it in. Well, maybe not. Maybe I want it to layer. I think I'll layer it. Okay. Aha. Okay, follow law. We've got those there. It looks like this page is about ready, except for the coloring with the Wink of Stella in the old olive ink pad. And so if I can find one of my old olive inks. Which at this point could be anywhere between here. Let's see, I've got Mossy Meadow and some old olive. Old olive, old olive. Seems every time I go to do one of these, I forget to pull something out so that I have it ready. And it'll be the one ink pad that will not be easy to find. So let's see if I have a cube. I do not. I just have a cube of old olive. Come on, you got this, you got this. Okay, well, if I can't find old olive, I will use a different color today. And I think I'm going to grab Mossy Meadow, just because the silly thing is it should be right here next to me because I just used it in another card a couple days ago. And apparently I did not put it away. Okay, well, we're going to use, I guess, Mossy Meadow because it's in the same color family. So the other thing that I want to do is I don't want to contaminate my ink pad with the sparkle. And so since I'm working on this glass mat, I'm just going to go ahead and put just a little bit of ink right here, and I'm going to use that as my palette. And I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to squeeze out some of the sparkle, and then I'm going to mix it here on my glass mat. Ooh, that's pretty. And then I'm going to use this as a palette to paint my leaves. So you can go in and just kind of find those leaves that you want to accentuate and use it just like you would paint. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this one. And I'm sorry if I'm like got my head in the camera. gotta also be careful that I'm not too heavy-handed here. Okay, let's see. They're a little hard to spot. A little bit of ink. Okay, let's see, where else can I see them? I think there's a little bit right here. And then maybe some in here. There's one. They're definitely hidden inside this paper. Okay, let's see. There should be one over here as well. I think I see it. And I'm actually using the guide that was provided to kind of help me see that they're in little clusters up here. So if you see, I'm using the guide to help me visualize where these are in, I think there's one here. Because they are very difficult to see. I think I've got one up here as well. And you know, you don't have to go all the time. You could just do the top, or just, you know, use a few. You could actually, if you wanted to, you could change this out and use one of the pink colors to do the flowers instead of the leaves. So you do have options. I am going to grab the previous page and go ahead and add as well, since we did not do that. I only colored the little flower last time. I'm going to set that other one aside to dry a little bit. Pick up some more of this green. And then I'm going to use that paper so I can better see where these leaves are. And you know, you don't have to be perfect. You will go over a little bit, but I think it's going to be fine. Because when you're looking at it in your album, I don't think it's going to be that noticeable if you if you miss a line. Let's see. I'll come down here. Sorry if I'm off camera. Move this over so you can see where I'm at. Anyway, I really love the shimmer that you get using this method. Okay, and I think there's one right here. There's one right here. One right here. And right here. And the more you move out without getting color in it, the lighter that it gets, which is also fun, just like watercolor. Okay, I think that that's good. I'm going to stop there before I overdo it, but I do want to show you how to get the color off of your Wink of Stella, because you don't want to take that green color into another color, or, you know, bring some other color into it if you're not meaning to. So I just have a piece of paper here, or sorry, a little piece of paper towel. I do have a little water bottle, but really all you need to do is actually use either a scrap of paper or just a little scrap here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of squeeze and until it comes out clear. And I think you can see there's no green on that, so I think I'm good. as far as cleaning this up, because it's on my glass mat, it's really nice. I can just squirt some water on there, take my paper towel, wipe it up, and you're good to go. Let's clean off my mat. If you have something that won't come off too, you can do by putting a little bit of high quality rubbing alcohol. I think it's like the 91 or higher, 94. I can't remember what the percentage is, but your higher percentage alcohol. Okay. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these back out. I did already embellish the one from yesterday, so I'm just letting this continue to dry a little bit. It shouldn't take very long if you don't glob on the ink. If you're lighter handed on the ink, it should not take that long to dry. But I do want to go ahead and grab my tool and go ahead and add my little sparkle gems. Put a couple of those up here, and maybe I'll do a few down here somewhere. Maybe down here at the bottom. Go there and there. Okay, that is layout number 2. All right, so that's layout number 2. Yay! I'm going to let this keep drying a little bit. So let me set it over here to the side. And then I'm going to grab out, we're going to finish with our layouts 3. Which there are the pieces. Okay. Layout number 3, left page. Since we already sorted these, we're using the scalloped lined edge paper for both right and left pages. I have some photo mats that we've already cut down. Some of these. Let me make sure that I'm in frame for everyone. The one bad thing about pre-recording these and then trying to go back is that if I'm not paying attention, I can get everything completely out of frame, and I won't know it until I go back. It also doesn't help that I am currently throwing things on the floor in my darkish room and I can't see where it went. So I did just lose a die cut on the floor. So when I'm working and I can't find that die cut, I'll need to crawl around on the floor. Fun times. Doesn't help that I'm not sure which one I dropped. Okay. Come on, turn it off. Flashlight did not help. So let's go ahead and get started on this page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I have grabbed, I was trying to sort these out for project number 3. Got some arrows, flowers, tabs, and cardstock. Okay. So this page looks like we're going to do some splatter, and it looks like we're going to splatter again with that same Wink of Stella and that same color. So the first thing that we're going to want to do probably is go ahead and do the splatter. It's up here and down here on the left page, and while I'm splattering that, I might as well do the other page as well. And it looks like we have splatter up in this quadrant, and mostly that's the only spot it splattered on the right page. So let's go ahead and prep that. flip that over. Again, I'm gonna make a little puddle. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Wink of Stella ready. Go ahead and drizzle. Oh, I hope it's not empty. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to splatter. And what I've done is I have lined up my paper, and I'm going to take something a little bit hard. So I'm going to use the end of my scissors, and I'm just going to smack my scissors on my pen so that it'll transfer this wet ink to my page. And then I'm going to let that dry. So that was the right page. So now I'm going to get the page that we're going to work on, which is the left page, which is the one we're doing first. And I actually need to splatter here and down on this corner. So I'm going to go ahead and get that ready. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to do flipping this around so that I have it in the right place when we get ready to work on it. But it's like, I feel like my pen is running out of juice. So I'll just pick it up as best I can. Add some splatter. And call it good. Now, I do sometimes use a splat box. That will help control where it splatters, because you could, since you don't have a lot of control hitting it like that, you can see I splattered on some of my other areas, which, you know, sometimes you may not want other things on your desk or your desk itself to get splattered. So sometimes I'll put it like inside of a box, and then I'll splatter in there so that all of the cast off lands inside the box. Sometimes I'll do it so it's more controlled. I can use an acrylic block the same way I just did this. Just take your block and smash it into the ink, and then add your water or Wink of Stella, and use the brush to flick it off of the block. So if this was my block, I'd put the ink here, mix it, and then just use it like this and splatter it. And then you have a little bit more control over where your splatter goes. Okay. Messy, messy, messy. I love it. Okay. So here is my page. I've got my splatter up here, my splatter down here. And we're going to go ahead and build the page. This one is a little interesting because it doesn't give you a lot. It's building off a section down here, and we're building up a section up here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my cluster in the bottom. And it looks like I'll be needing this red, the shorter of the two red pieces, the larger of the Secret C piece. I am going to go ahead and pull some of these up here just so I know that I have them. Put that up there. Christmas as a pic photo. Okay. We've got that. We've got that. Got two of these that are going to go up in here. And we have this tag. Okay, so I think that's what we've got going on here, as well as two 3x4s. So here are the mats, and here are the photo placement cards, which I think I splattered on the back of, but that's okay because we're not going to use them like that, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my photo placeholders to my photo mats. We've got that. And we have that. Those are ready. So let's go ahead and place our bottom piece. Says that we're going to place it 1 3/4 from the edge of this side, 1 3/4 inches, and approximately 1 5/8 from the bottom. I'm just gonna eyeball it, and I think it's fine right about there. The nice thing about this paper is it has lines on here, so you can use these lines that are printed to help keep it straight. Go ahead and I'll put that down. And then I'll go ahead and place this piece on here. Ahead, put that there, and then I can also go ahead and stagger these two photos. You will notice a lot of times I don't put my glue on the edge when I'm doing photos, and that is specifically so that if I decide to, I can tuck embellishments or other little clusters and things underneath my photo without having to worry that I have that I'll have glue that's going to interfere. So I'll go ahead and I'll add that, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some add some foam tape again to the back of my pieces of ephemera, the punch outs that we did earlier. Again, I was reaching into my stash and just pull some of these off. I'm gonna make sure that I don't add anything to where I'm going to need to put the photo, or where I'm going to have to put the photo down. So for example, on these, I'm just going to grab, this goes this way. I'm not going to pull the tape off these, but I will pull the tape, the backing off of the pieces that are not going to interfere with my photo placement. Do that so that way I can place my photos down when I have my photo. And then we also have one that is up here. So I'll do that again. Strategically place my foam tape to the outside, and one that I won't pull off to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this here. And so that way I have access to the whole space where I'm going to put my photo. This one is actually going to go up here. So I think I will add it flat today. And then I have one that goes here, and I have a sticker that says Merry and Bright. And this one again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the sticky from the back. And after I do that, I will go ahead and add some 3D foam tape. Pull the backing. And then go ahead and place this little guy and this little sticker that says Joy off the sticker sheet. We're going to go ahead and put it here. And I'll use a little piece of foam tape on this guy. Here we go. And I think that that completes our cluster here in the side. So we have this larger cluster, the Merry and Bright, the white flower, the little Joy sticker, and we need the little Ho 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 sticker that's up here on the sticker sheet. Place that in the center. We have this piece here that's already done, so now that we just need to do our large Christmas sticker and place these items. There's one that says Traditions, and there's something else right here, and I have to look a little closer to see what that is because I do not see. Oh, there it is. I do see it. It's right here. Cute. Okay. Almost missed it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remove again the sticker from the back. Move the sticky from the sticker. I'm going to go ahead and grab my roll of tape. Maybe. Go ahead. Roll out the barrel. And I'm also making sure that I'm not putting this like right on the edge. You'll see I kind of saved space around it because I know I'm tucking all these little things underneath this sticker. And the thing I do need to put down before I do this is the arrow, the Secret C arrow. And I think I'm going to put it about here. But I also know that I have to at some point put this down. So let's take a look here. I'll fix this. See, when I tore these out, I left a little bit of white on there, so I want to trim that off. Probably won't see it on the white background, but I'm just being overly cautious. Okay, so if we put that there, and I go ahead and put this here, I can figure out where I want my title to go. I think we'll go ahead and put it here. And then I think I can go ahead and I'm just kind of use that to hold it so it doesn't, so that my sticker doesn't stick down. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slide this up under here. Pull that out. And then I've got this little Traditions sticker. And this little piece, and I'm just going to layer them. Just letting a tiny bit of that trim. And we're going to adhere this down, but because this is on 3D foam tape, I need to add some foam tape to this piece as well. That way they're level. And we'll go ahead and I put them on backwards. Usually you can't peel this off, so and put it on. There we go. Go ahead and put this up here like that. And this is the only instance where I am actually going to add the 25. Because this will be Christmas, my Christmas page. Okay, so we have our cluster, our larger cluster and our small cluster. I do see something that I missed here, and that is this piece with the pull-out tag. If you want your pull-out tag to work, you should not put glue on this piece. So I'm going to put my pull-out tag here on top of it. It says pull. That way I can pull this out, since I completely missed the instruction about the pull tag. So mine will just have my journaling. It says pull here, and I'm going to tuck it right there under this piece. Look, fixable. And that is my page. It would have been nice for me to notice that before we put that together, but hey, better late than never, and at least I had a place to put it. Okay, so we're going to the last page here. And we're going to start with adding this larger piece. Don't use adhesive along the top of 3H. Another piece will be placed behind it. Let's see what else it says. Adhere. Okay. I think we're okay with this one. I'm going to go ahead and attach it. I'm going to go ahead and attach that there. And then we have spot for 3 3x3 photos. That'll go here. My goodness. Go ahead and lay those out here. Those look fairly okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my place photo here. Pieces. If you had your photos, you can omit this step. Oops, there we go. You can see that one got really splattered. Oh, fun times. Okay, so then I have this piece that will go overlap the red. I have a place photo here card, and this one actually has a large, when you put your photo on it, it will have a full 1/4 inch border around each size, where the other ones have like a 1/4 inch, or sorry, 1/8 of an inch. This will have a full 1/4 inch around it. And we have this, so we have those. This piece tucks behind here. And then we have, I can see already now, maybe I know which piece is missing that I dropped on the floor. So I think that I dropped this little gray arrow on my floor under my desk. So I'll find that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and adhere these down. Since I'm going to slide under this one, I'm going to make sure that I leave space on one side. I'm going to put my glue a little bit further in so that I can slide this piece underneath. Use our tools, right? You can't use them for what they're used for. You can decide how you want to do other uses for it. It's just to hold it up while I glue. There we go. Oh my heavens. Sliding, sliding, sliding. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach my place photo here. And my remember when photo or journaling spot. Okay. down. This one, I grabbed a... Go ahead and put him down. Let's take a look. I'm probably way off because I probably moved everything. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this sticker up here at the top. Not a sticker, tab. And then we're going to have this floral piece right up here. I'm going to angle it so more of my photo sticks out. That way I don't have to be as persnickety with my photo. Put more of the flat edge so that it only would take, if I had a person's portrait, I would only be shaving off a little tiny piece of their face. Or I have to make sure that the people are more to the inside of the photo as opposed to the outer edge, if that makes any sense. Because I don't want to cover up people's faces with my embellishment. So I'll go this direction. But I also don't want to cover up my splatter. Such a fine line, right? Okay, so then I am missing that little piece that's a full an arrow, so make sure it's not under there because I did not see it when I looked under my chair a minute ago. Doesn't mean it's not there, it just means I'm blind. Blind, blind, blind. Where's the gray piece? Blind, blind, blind. Oh, I found it. Wow, it really went flying. Not even close to where everything else landed. Okay, that's okay. We found it. We're good. Okay, fun times. And I'm about to like lose something off the back of my, I think I pushed my chair back and we have an avalanche behind my chair, so 1 second. It's always fun when you do a video, what's gonna happen, you just never know. Okay, we have some stickers that we need to place. We have the best time of the year sticker right here. And they used this 25 sticker, which I might use, I haven't decided yet. But they also have placed this little gray arrow. Oh my goodness. Little gray arrow right down here. And this best time of the year. Right there. And this number sticker. Okay. I think the last one is this date. The date sticker that goes up here, right off this sticker sheet, right up here. And I think that's it. So all I need to do is add my little sparkles. And I think that we completed these layouts. Ta-da! Okay. So I'm going to bring in a page, the first page of this, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some embellishments. Right here, maybe a larger one up here, right there. And then I think I'm going to add a couple down here. And one down here. Do that. And then on the other page, I'm going to go ahead and put some right up in here. And right down here. And I think I'm going to call it good. Ta-da! Okay. So there we have it. We have our layouts. So this is layout. Let's see if I'm in frame here. Not quite. So we have layout number 3. We have layout number 2. Whoops, right here. These two. Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to make people ill. So we've got these two. And then we have the first set that we did, which were the Oh What Fun pages. So there we have it. You have the entire set now from this kit. It's a really cute kit. It is still available. It's called Keeping Traditions. Basically has everything you need already in there except for an ink pad if you wanted, and a Wink of Stella brush if you wanted to add color. You could use any of your existing colors of ink. If you wanted to use the one that is located, or sorry, that is used in the samples, it would be Old Olive. And as you saw, I couldn't put my hand on it, so I used Mossy Meadow, but you could use any of that like olivey color. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take you out of the cradle here. And let's see. Yeah, I thank you for hanging in there with me this whole time. I'm going to go ahead and get this edited and put up, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button, and that'll help me get likes and or help me be seen and be able to do some more videos. So thank you again for your time. It was great being with you, and I will see you shortly. Bye.